only wants you to make good beer and have fun hanging out with your friends. Here's Dono.
Today on the program we are making a beer that I have made a number of times. It's kind of an original recipe. I made a video on it in 2021, 2 years ago. It's India Black Lager. So it's basically your black IPA Cascadian Dark Ale made with a lager yeast. And so I've done this several times. It's this style I kind of, like. This would be the most recent one that I did. This was Drinking Scott Out East India Black Lager. In 11 years ago, I looked like that, and I was kegging the second version of it, and that was 2010 was first, 2011. Anyway, it's a style that really I like, and I get a lot of compliments on this particular beer. The last time I made it, it had a bunch of different hops. I forget what they were. Let's take a quick look. It had Columbus, Magnum, Chinook, Warrior, and Amarillo. So it had 5 ounces divided up in a bunch of different ways. So our friend Joel works for BSG, gave Chip and I all this stuff. It is YQH-1320. So if you look it up, you can read the description, and we will get into that in the tasting notes. But what I'm going to basically do is it's going to be a single hop beer with this schedule. So some at first wort hop, some at 60, a little bit, 45, 30, then a hop stand at the end. And my yeast starter is made from washed Huga yeast, the Danish lager. Made that last night. That's looking good. And I got 7.5 gallons of wort. So I mean, a lot of wort. And I'm gonna be getting it down to about 5. So I'm boiling some here, and then I'm bringing it up to boil out here in our winter hellscape, which we are not anywhere near out of. So let's keep it rolling. Realize I didn't go over the recipe. We can do that quick. Same as before. 11.5 pounds pills, 0.5 pound chocolate, 0.5 pound crystal 3037. 1 whole pound of Carafa 2. That's how it gets a lot of the dark color. 1.5 Munich, and 1 pound wheat malt. And then I do 2 cups of white sugar, which when I have weighed it out is about a pound. And then it's all these YQH-1320 additions. Some first wort, I think we went over this. So yeah, throughout, hop stand at the end, and yeah, fermenting it cold with a lager yeast. So here are the hops. YQH-1320. I've got, I thought I had 5 bags, and I thought it was 5 ounces. But I was holding a bag, and I'm like, how much is this? Is this 28 grams? And the answer is no. So what I can do to get the IBUs I want, well, I mean, I do have 1 extra bag, so that's, let's see, 19 divided by 5 is 4, so I could get it up to 20, like almost 24 grams, which is basically almost an ounce. So, that's okay, but I'm glad I checked, because it didn't say, like, what it was. It just said sample. And it doesn't say the alpha acid, but the internet tells me it's in the 9 to 11 range, which will work, and keep going. So I made the wort last night, and so held it overnight, as I do So this is going to be my first wort hops. So it's 130 Fahrenheit still, so they will be in there now, and I'll be bringing it to a boil, and so they will get a little sort of pre-boil steep. Time for the 30-minute addition, and I would be remiss if I didn't do at least one shot of our winter hellhole. I mean, this is gonna be the top 10 snowiest seasons in Minnesota on record, and I mean, you know that we've had some snow. So here is my table. You can see the top of my table, but then you can see like behind it is an even higher pile of snow where I shovel. Let me turn this off. So it's just been a heck of a winter, as you can see. I think you can see that's coming down again. We're gonna get, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 inches, but yeah, we're tired of it. It's, what is it, March 11th? Oh, it's 3/11 day. Happy 3/11 day to Chip and Paul Illa. They love it. Here's my alley scene. That's a good pile of snow over there. We have frozen icy ruts, which, you know, that's like the thing. If you know, you know. If you never dealt with it, you don't know. Here's a good pile of snow, much taller than my garbage can. And yeah, I mean, look at these people. I don't even know if they can get their car out of there unless they shovel that frozen icy mess out. But hopefully I will safely get all this wort inside. It is I will say it is not no concern. I'm gonna have to be careful. I'll probably do a sweeping job and get some of this snow cleared away, but yeah, here we are. It's been 15 minutes since I did the flame out addition. I took a quick temperature just kind of for fun. It's still at about 190, and so typically when you're doing this, sometimes you will want it to be down to 180 or less, with the reason being that it might extract less bitterness. But at this point, since I just want to keep her moving, and 190 is less than 212, the boiling temp, and I also have to do some, I'm going to try to shovel up just to get rid of this surface snow, just so I can carry this junk into my house without falling. Always love the snow slash ice bath option in the winter time. It's pretty easy to get this chilled down pretty quick. Alright, about to wrap this up. It's going to be it's going to be over 1080 from a quick look. This yeast starter is smelling and looking like $1 million. I got about, well, how much do I have? Oh, 5 gallons on the nuts. Before adding this, I will definitely use my pure oxygen system to aerate it, but I would be surprised if this was not fermenting later today, with since it's about 11:30 a.m. and with all this yeast, and we'll get it buttoned up and get it going. Alright, here we go. Are we rolling? Yeah, we're rolling. We're coming in hot.
Back once again.
So, it is April 16th. We have snow on the ground, people. We have snow on the ground.
It was 90 on Wednesday, and now there's snow on the ground.
Let me think. Oh, I have a video coming out, the next video. I brewed on April 1st, and that's when we got like 8 inches of snow. Ha ha, hilarious.
Oh,
right?
I brewed that day too.
And so I did a footage of all this snow everywhere, and then there's footage, and you just saw of like there being a lot of snow. And then 11 days later, when I kegged that beer, no snow. Basically, no snow. And we had some 80-degree days. Today, it's like 31 degrees, and we have snow on the ground. And it's dumb. Anyway, this beer was brewed on 311.
Whoop whoop!
I did a shout out
Down for the
to
unity.
Chip and Paul Illa on the brew day. I like, oh, it's 311, and I was brewing. And I kegged it on 329. It went from 1085. It was the OG, the biggest of any of my India Black Lagers, down to 1014. It did ferment well. It was about 52 degrees, so cold again. No pressure.
Huh?
No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure.
What do you think? No pressure.
Is-
Do you like it? No pressure.
Can you be there? Can you make it? Yeah. So he thought that these YQH-1320 hops that I was given, he thought I used them in a different beer, and then meanwhile there was this India Black Lager I made.
No.
Au contraire.
Yeah.
It was the same, and I kind of, I won't say regret it. It was an opportunity, and it was just sort of a coincidence that I wanted to make this beer, and I had these
Stand
hops.
by my hopping schedule decision.
And I had these hops, and I was like, why don't I make... But if I really wanted to get a better idea of these hops, I wouldn't have put it into the giant
beer.
at 9.3% alcohol beer with all
Carafa,
of those malts that you saw and the
Seafoamy.
richness. So this beer... I mean, I kind of smell like the roastiness. I don't know if I smell, even though I did do the hops. You saw the hop schedule. Like a couple of charges in the hop stand. No actual dry hops. No active fermentation additions.
Old school.
Yeah, right.
Boil
I get like
hops,
this
boil
roastiness.
hops. No, I was telling you, and I didn't know what the tasters were. I asked you not to tell me for a minute, and I got this kind of classic, that citrus on roast, that kind of American hop on roast, which is the black IPA, but it's also got this like minty kind of coolness and this licorice kind of anise thing that I think is more maybe like the herbality of the hops playing with these roasted, plummy, raisiny things. But I mean, it's not a weak hop, I would say. It's definitely in there.
Yeah.
You said it's more. You think it's more bitter, or by the numbers, it should be more bitter. But I feel like it finishes less bitter than none more black is.
The one that I referenced in the intro footage was the 2021 version of this beer was quite bitter, and I was a little bit worried that I made it too bitter and that I wasn't gonna like it. But then it did come around. And it became really tasty. This beer, on the opposite, like right away, I was like, oh, is it, maybe because I had this expectation of like the last time I made it, like, is this bitter enough? Is it, can I even taste the hops? And I don't get all of these nuanced flavors, clean and bright, tropical, citrus, stone fruit, pineapple, guava, lime, white peach, orange zest.
I do not get tropical. Like, I almost feel like tropical in this beer would actually go a little left, so I'm glad it's not in there. I feel like I get a little of this,
You
the
said
orange peel
citrus,
for sure.
Orange zest.
You said white pear, white peach, which I was like, oh, I can actually get that. But that's not tropical. That's more stone fruit, muted kind of flavor. So
I mostly just get like a ripe strawberry, or I said plum, that kind of medium level of sweetness. But then Chip pointed out, well, that could be related to all of these raisiny characteristics of some of these dark malts.
yeah, that's C40.
And he is right. It's not like this hop is bad. It makes the beer taste bad, but I don't think I gave it a good platform to showcase it.
I find it very interesting though when I looked it up just now to see what you've done. That's like a lot. It's like first wort, 60, 45, 30, maybe
Hop
whatever
stand,
double hop stand
yeah.
at different temperatures. So
But
I
it's a
think
big-
you put it through as much of a chance
I
to
tried.
stand out as you.
I tried.
Well, it's in there. It's still a
when you
bitter
look
beer.
at
It's got things that are not malt flavors in them, so it still exists.
When you look at the other times I've made this beer, it's Cascade. I'm sorry, not Cascade. That's Warrior, Chinook, Amarillo. I'm forgetting a couple of. It's just like a lot of big, bold hops, and they come together in a very nice way. And this is about the same. Although I didn't do software calculations, but it should be approximately on paper the same IBUs, but just this one hop, just single hop. So anyway, this is a fun kind of thing to do. It's kind of like also we've talked like an American stout. I mean,
well, I was going to say,
like
what
a
makes
hoppy-
this not an imperial stout even? Besides the lower end of,
Well,
imperial
first
stouts
of
are 8
all,
to 12, so it's in there.
I don't know if there would be a grain. This is where I've kind of, like, I don't have this dialed in, like, say, roast malt, black malt. Whatever it is, there's something that maybe is
yeah.
more commonly
They often
in a
have, like,
stout.
right, a roasted
And then the
barley
black
specifically,
IPA
you know.
is black, but it's not as full-on stout.
So because of that carafa,
Yeah,
coming in a little like low-key, non-astringent, this
It's-
doesn't quite go to that
like a stout
really
level.
coffee roasted.
It is pretty.
I think that's why I get that
roasty, though.
licorishness. Is again, it would usually be coffee if that was maybe more of a roasted barley, but because so many of these malts were just
I
packing.
think there's, I forget, I don't, like, maybe there's Munich.
There's
in
chocolate,
there.
Munich.
Yeah.
The
There's a lot. There's a lot of
C30
malts.
stands out to me. I'm like, oh, that is definitely seems like something that doesn't get quite pruny, but it's like raisiny, almost like.
So, anywho's, Joel, thanks for the samples. I will get the, you'll have to get you on this beer to give it a shot. YQH-1320. I don't know if it's even
What would you name it?
available.
What would you name it?
What, the hop?
Mm-hmm.
Frank. I don't know.
Dry hop with Frank.
Alright, well, thanks for watching. Once again to the silly videos, and catch you later.